Welcome in, everybody. Mike Petrie and Chris Lambert here with you on NineStar for a rare, for us at least, lovely afternoon of baseball here between the Pendleton Heights Arabians and the Mount Vernon Marauders. And Chris, the having weather suitable for baseball is a victory in and of itself this April.
I don't even know what this is like, to tell you the truth, Mike. We've had a lot of problems here at NineStar with the rain all throughout April in the state of Indiana, but tonight it's 61 degrees. The wind is blowing out towards right field. It's cloudy, but it's going to be dry. We've been promised, and we're going to have some great Hoosier Heritage Conference baseball.
And a pretty big game in terms of the conference. Pendleton Heights coming in. They are 4-2 in conference. Mount Vernon 3-2, but own a win over conference leader New Pal. So a big win for both teams trying to stay in the race here.
Mount Vernon and New Pal splitting their doubleheader last week, and either team could be atop the standings after tonight as you get a look at the Arabians' starting pitcher, Tanner Holloway.
Yes, and we'll get the lineup for you here as we get going. Mount Vernon leading off and poking that one down the left field line. That was Travis Mason. He's the left fielder. Ryan Beck, number 10, he bats second. Noah Powell will bat third. He is number 8. Had a home run in their last game. As that one is hit on a line to right, and that'll be out number 1. So a good start for Holloway for this Arabians squad.
Yeah, Holloway forces the fly out to 9, and playing defense for Pendleton Heights, that was
Eston Stoll.
Eston Stoll, the right fielder. Try to run down that first name for you. Out there in the outfield, along with Jake Harrison, center, Noah Gar, and left. We'll fill that lineup up as we can as well.
So now that brings up Ryan Beck, number 10 for this Mount Vernon Marauder squad, and a lot of guys that can hit. He's one of them. 467 batting average, leads the team with 14 hits, has 10 RBIs and 2 doubles, 2 triples on the season. He hits that one. That'll be a soft line drive into right field, and that'll get him aboard for the first hit of the game for the Marauders.
Yeah, Beck gets it one just outside the outstretched glove of Philip Lawson at second and safely aboard. Rest of the infield, Casey Branham playing first, Mitchell Fowler at third, and Logan Robertson, the Pendleton Heights shortstop. Your battery, Joey Putnam, the catcher, alongside Tanner Holloway.
So that brings up Noah Powell. He's the shortstop. Another big hitter on this squad. He has got a 394 batting average, and he hits that one. A loud strike for Powell. He has got in 33 at bats so far, 13 hits, 6 RBIs, and 2 home runs. That leads the team, kind of leads both teams in terms of home runs. Not a lot of balls have left the yard, but he's put a charge into some this season.
And he showed a lot of power on that one, drove it down that left field line, just foul, but had the distance.
One thing that's really impressive about Tanner Holloway, 0.94 whip, but what's especially impressive about that, in 11 2/3 innings, 0 walks. For a high school pitcher, he's shown some exceptional control so far. And he puts that up. That is ripped into left field, and that will be a base hit, as the throw will come into the infield and hold Beck at second. So Mount Vernon has put together a couple of base hits, and now it's a matter of bringing those runners home.
Yeah, good strong start to get 2 base hits off of Tanner Holloway with just 1 out here in the top of the first.
Holloway giving up less than a hit per inning, and that's a swing, and umpire rules that one just off the bat, just fouled off. So that'll be Wyatt Vestal, the right fielder for this Marauder squad. Vestal comes in batting .452. A lot of Fords in front of the batting averages for this Mount Vernon squad.
Yeah, they've always had a knack for having a number of great hitters on the roster as the years that I've spent covering the Marauders.
And that one's batted up the middle. That could be, too, as it's thrown in a nice play by the second baseman. Grabs the ball, steps on second, throws to first, and that will be a double play.
Wow, perfectly executed. You saw that one roll right up the middle, and it took a bounce once it hit the mound. As you take it, Holloway tried to field that behind his back, but good coverage by the Pendleton Heights defense. Lawson scoops it up, gets the throw over to Branham, and just like that, the threat is extinguished. 2 hits for Mount Vernon in the top of the first, but nothing to show for it as we switch sides and get ready to see the homestanding Arabians come to the bat, Mike.
Yeah, and we'll run through their lineup quickly for you. Jake Harris leads off. He plays center field. Philip Lawson was the second baseman who made that dandy of play. He bats second, plays second. Logan Robertson is the shortstop. He bats third. Casey Branham bats fourth. He is the first baseman. Mitchell Fowler is the third baseman. He bats fifth. Matt Veter is the DH. He bats sixth. Joey Putnam behind the plate bats seventh. Eston Stoll, we heard his name a couple of times in right field. And Noah Gar bats ninth. He's playing left field. Tell us a little bit about Mount Vernon's pitcher.
Well, Kennedy Parker is one of the seniors on this roster. He's got 1 win on the season, and you see the numbers there. 14 strikeouts at this early stage of the season. Just 10 games played for Mount Vernon, as we talked about, with rain playing havoc as it always does. So he's off to a pretty strong start with some great control from the mound himself.
Yeah, second on the team in terms of innings pitched. 14 strikeouts in just 12 in the third inning. So whenever you're averaging more than 7 strikeouts a game, that's a pretty solid track record.
Yep, and his battery mate Braden Augustinovich behind the plate to catch. Around the horn, you've got McCarthy at first, Beck at second, Smoot at third, Powell playing short, and left to right out in the field, Mason, Franklin, and Vestal, your defensive lineup for this Mount Vernon squad, who lost the first game last weekend against New Palestine 4-3, but came back and got a big 8-1 win in the second half of that doubleheader, which took a few days to play because of the rain. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, no kidding. And so Jake Harris, the center fielder, he's going to be leading off. Leads the team in batting average and slugging percentage, 412 batting average. A very solid, and actually I apologize, is second on the team behind Logan Robertson in terms of his batting average, but a very solid batter leading it off.
Started last year as a sophomore.
And that one misses just outside. The full line on Kennedy Parker, 4.54 ERA, 2-1 in 5 appearances so far. He's got 8 runs, 8 earned. 11 hits and 8 walks. And that is a leadoff single for Harris. Takes a big turn, but he will stay.
You see both teams get some good distance going to left field, which is, they're not wind aided at all. We talked about at the beginning the wind was blowing out to right. Now the flags are completely still, so they're just getting that opposite field power on their own, and a good start for the Arabians in their half of the inning.
And Harris on base, he has 3 stolen bases on this young season, as looked like Lawson showing bunt there. They were thinking about running a sacrifice over. Lawson with a batting average just 265, but a 419 on base percentage, a very good eye. He has drawn 9 walks already.
It looks like they're pitching out. They've got Harris in mind out there. You talked about his base stealing capabilities. Mount Vernon well scouted on that regard.
Yeah, but now with a 2-0 count, they're going to have to come plateward. And that is across the plate. That'll be a foul ball. So
this time offered the bunt and just couldn't keep that one in play. 2-1 now the count.
And now 2-1 is the count that a lot of base stealers like to go on. They've seen them move a couple of times. They've seen how long the pitcher likes to hang with it, but that time they show bunt again and unable to get it down. So a 2-2 count. I imagine that means Lawson will be swinging as we go forward from here.
A lot of grass behind the plate area at Pendleton Heights is going to make it hard for balls to get too far away from the catchers in the case of a wild pitch or a pass ball, but still a possibility.
And that one up and in, way up and in. So 3-2.
Good battle here as they run the count full. Lawson making Parker work for it.
Yeah, a lot of times, and Parker gave him 2 fastballs, tough ones to bunt on. A lot of times if they give you a bunt, you'll take the out and just go from there, but this has been a little bit more of a prolonged at bat.
And that one came inside on the bat. Lawson got a piece of it, fouled it back.
Logan Robertson is the man on deck. They're trying to get into scoring position for him, and they do so, as that will be a ball outside. So Harris advances to second base the easy way.
I got ahead in the count, had a little bit of time to play with the bunt, tried to get things up for a stolen base, but showed patience, and that ball four well outside, bringing up the shortstop, Logan Robertson.
Yeah, and nice at bat from Lawson. Again, 10 walks now so far on the season. That's just in 45 plate appearances. So you're talking about once every 4 times he's getting a walk.
That builds up the OBP really nicely. When you got
absolutely.
patience, you can see what's coming at you and get the most of it.
So runners on first and second, nobody out. Parker trying to work away. He's doing his best, and we've seen this with the right-handed pitcher or batters so far. He's trying to work on that outside corner, not give him anything up over the plate. He's trying maybe a little bit to nibble too much on that outside corner. And that one is fouled off.
That's going to carry a little bit of difference. We've got a distance, I should say. We've got a softball game right next door. They might have to be watching out for these foul balls.
Yeah, a busy afternoon here at the Arabians baseball and softball complex. Throw goes back to second. And you can see in a nice angle from our home plate camera, the second baseman and shortstop both trying to play a little peekaboo and seeing if they can catch Harris off base. And that's a swing and a miss, and that snap throw down.
Swing and miss on that one, so he's going to strike out.
So heads up play by Augustinovich. We're going to get about 10 pronunciations of that name. Augustinovich, as he snap throw back. Imagine that he's the one that's directing even Parker on the throws back to second base. So first and second, now one out. And Casey Branham will come to the plate, left-handed slugger. Branham comes into the game, batting .343. He's got .514 slugging percentage, though. Double and a triple and a home run so far on the season. And that's a high pitch. That's up in the air. And Wyatt Vestal throws in. The throw goes to third. Perhaps not the best idea because the long throw to third allows the runner at first to advance as well.
Yeah, and those can always be dangerous from that distance. A high throw, you got to be pretty happy with, or pretty confident in your control to get that one through. But like you said, that runner could have stayed at first. But now we've got him at second and third with 2 out.
So now a base hit probably scores 2, although in fairness to Vestal, he almost got him. So
Parker's going to throw it over to second. He's going
to a throw back to Lawson catches Lawson off sleeping. He caught the announcer sleeping. And that is one way to end the inning. A couple of quick rallies snuffed here in the first. We will come into the second inning at Pendleton Heights, and it is 0-0 on NineStar 9. Welcome back, everybody, to Bill Stout Field here at Pendleton Heights High School. Mike Petrie and Chris Lambert with you here on NineStar Sports. And a couple of rallies looked like they were brewing early on, but quickly snuffed out. A double play in the top half, and then a runner caught off of second base in the bottom half. So that did it, and that will bring up for the Mount Vernon Marauders, Tyler Franklin, the center fielder, comes in. He's batting .333, a .990 OPS, though, and with a double and 2 triples. As that pitch is outside.
It's pretty nice numbers to have coming from your 5-hole hitter.
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty much no easy outs in either of these lineups. That one is a ground ball back to the pitcher, and Holloway grabs that easily and throws to first for an out.
Well, that time the roller back to the mound works out for the defense of Holloway. He was just able to run that down, kind of catch it on the backhand, and easy trot over to first base to retire the side with the help of Branham. And now the designated hitter, Brandon Turner, comes up to the plate for MV.
And Brandon Turner, again, another good batting average, .346. He comes in. He's got
Brandon Turner, number 6 now.
is 9 hits and 26 at bats, and a couple of RBIs, a couple of doubles, and a triple. So, you know, one thing that you notice in both of these lineups, not only good batting averages and good on base percentage, but they make plenty of extra base hits sprinkled in as well. So, and you can see why. Even on the foul balls, as much as anything, we've seen a couple of really loud strikes.
Yes, well hit ball by Turner there.
So 1-2 the count, 1 out.
He's gonna shake that one off, try to regain his composure back.
Tanner Holloway, again a junior. A lot of juniors in this rotation for Pendleton Heights. Holloway, Chase McDermott, and Corbin Cox, all juniors on this squad. So a good sign for the Arabians. They've got a good deep rotation as well.
7 of the 9 pitchers are juniors on the roster that
That's
we have.
a swing down. That'll be strike 3. So a nice K for Holloway.
So both pitchers now with 1 strikeout on the game, and boy, he fooled him there. That one well outside the swing, and Turner went for it, couldn't get there, so the catcher comes up with 2 outs, Braden Augustinovich.
And that he will take one in the back as on the first pitch, a curveball that just got away from Holloway.
Augustinovich was at the plate.
Well, nobody wants to waste time at the plate. You're just going to see that pitch comes in just a little on the inside there. Nowhere to go. And we've got a base runner here with 2 outs in the second. Here's the first baseman, Mitch McCarthy, to complete the order for Ryan Carr's Marauders.
And actually Smoot.
Smoot, I'm sorry.
Should be Smoot.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah,
Smoot, the
no
third
kidding.
baseman. Then we'll see McCarthy. He's on deck.
Yes. So Smoot, and again, you don't often see this from your 8-hitter, but batting .455, 5 of 11 on the season. So pitch is up top just a little bit. So 1-0 will be the count.
When you've got so many good hitters, you can shake it up a little bit, put a high batting average down the bottom, because in any other inning, they could be leading off.
And Smoot puts that one short left field, and Robertson will grab that. Looks up. Any high pop-up you're a little bit nervous about in April, as we mentioned, with the weather, but does not draw rain. And Robertson comes out with the ball, so that'll be the end of the inning.
Now 1 strikeout and 1 hit by pitch, but no hits there in the second frame. Mount Vernon was able to get 2 hits in the first inning, and it's where we stay. An inning and a half gone here at Bill Stout Field, and the Arabians and the Marauders still looking for the first run on the board, as each team has 2 hits.
And this is, you know, I would say what we would expect to a certain extent, although even with the good offenses, Holloway coming in really had shown a lot of those peripherals that you like, and as well as Kennedy Parker, you know, they don't allow a lot of base runners. They don't give up a ton of extra base hits, and so when you can limit your damage that way, makes it a little easier to have a bit of a pitcher's duel. So we'll see if Parker can keep up his end of the bargain here in the bottom half of the second.
Getting our looks at the managers. Ryan Carr had some camera time earlier. There's Travis Kiesling in his 3rd year with the Arabian squad. Both of these teams are settling in for a long haul of games to come up with all the rainouts and more HHC battles. We'll talk about those as we get a little bit later in the broadcast, of course, Mike, but things are really going to be picking up, assuming we can just keep those skies dry.
Right. We need those May flowers as opposed to the April showers. So the calendar turning over to May on Sunday.
Third baseman, number 24.
And we'll see Mitchell Fowler finally get his chance to bat after stepping up to the plate in the bottom of the first inning and having his visit cut short by a pickoff play. Veter and Putnam still also due up for Pendleton Heights.
Fowler just batting 222 on the season.
Fowler comes in with a 222 batting average, not a great average so far, and again, a small sample size alert with everybody's stats so far, and that's a strike from Parker. So
Parker has placed those last 2 strikes very well across the plate, low but in the strike zone. Really nothing there for Fowler to look at.
Gets the
And that one is a strike on the outside corner, and nice job. And really, really well placed, as you mentioned. That's a tough pitch to swing at, and a tough pitch to let go, because you're trying to protect the plate, but in a situation like that, you don't want to swing at something that you aren't going to be able to get a good bat on. And so that pitch is on the inside corner, and Parker getting into a bit of a groove here.
Yeah, he's found nice control here to start this bottom of the second inning as the designated hitter Veter steps in.
And that one is grounded to the first baseman. He will actually run to first, and McCarthy is able to retire Veter unassisted.
Now, that time came up a little high, but Veter was able to make contact. Not a great bit of contact. It just dribbles safely over to McCarthy, who's not troubled in that put out. Two away.
Although interesting, because he would have won the race against Parker if it had come down to that, but McCarthy able to beat him to the base instead. And Parker misses that one upstairs. So Putnam batting .368. A good patient group here with Pendleton Heights, as they've collected 56 walks on the season. So they're going to make you come across the strike zone. We already mentioned Philip Lawson, a couple of other guys with 9 and 8 walks on the season. That is a ground ball down the line.
Just goes foul, though. That was pretty close to being a nice little bit of hitting.
Yeah. Just a step out of the third baseman's glove, and then just outside of first base, or out of the third baseline. So nice bit of camera work there, guys. We appreciate that.
Director having a lot of fun too. Go back and forth, just to see that just missed.
And that one is popped into the stands, it looks like. So that'd be a 1-2 count.
Haven't yet heard the thump of a foul ball hitting our roof here.
Right.
Great press box at Pendleton Heights and Stoutfield.
More importantly, the thump of it hitting our cars. Use the local knowledge. I saw where one of the Pendleton Heights players parked one step further back from that. I figured I was safe. And that's a strikeout swinging as Fowler and Putnam strike out in the inning, sandwiched around a Matt Veter ground out. And so that is three up, 3 down for the Arabians. That'll take us to the third inning, and Chris Lambert on the play-by-play call here on NineStar 9.
And we welcome you back to Pendleton Heights and Bill Stoutfield here in Pendleton, Indiana. Headed to the top of the third in this Hoosier Heritage Conference battle. Mount Vernon, Pendleton Heights still looking to put a run on the board as Tanner Holloway getting ready to go back to work for the Arabians. He'll be facing Mount Vernon's 9, 1, and 2 hitters. First baseman Mitch McCarthy due up, followed by Travis Mason and Ryan Beck. Alongside Mike Petrie, Chris Lambert with you. Glad you joined us here on NineStar TV. One of those perfect Friday nights of HHC baseball, 61 degrees as we mentioned, and it's dry and the field looks great, and both these pitchers are, for the most part, having a nice day of it. Holloway has given up 2 hits and 1 hit by, but he's also got 1 K, and most importantly, it's a shutout.
Yeah, much easier going for both pitchers there in the second inning, though. First inning looked like both teams really had rallies sprouting, but Mount Vernon's was snuffed out by a double play and a nice play by Philip Lawson that was able to crush that rally. And then Philip Lawson got caught off of second base, so he ended up ending both rallies, really, as he was caught off second base in the bottom of the first. After that, pitchers had a much easier time of it.
And it's 1-1 here from McCarthy, and it lays down a bunt. That's going to roll foul. He had to reach out to get a bit of that at all. On the season, Mitch McCarthy hitting .333 in the 9-hole today for Ryan Carr's Marauders. He's not had a lot of appearances at the plate, just 6 on the season, but he's got 4 RBI.
And 1 home run on the season, so.
One of the 3 Marauders with home runs thus far.
And that's
he takes a swing at that one. That goes deep to right field. It's not going to be deep enough, however, as Stoll is able to back up and haul it in, and there's 1 away.
That's one of those ones he needed the wind that you were just speaking of before the game. If he got that up into the jet stream a little bit, but No wind as it's died down here in the as the game has started.
I think it's about 340 where the right fielder was playing that one to the wall. And that one went about 330. So one away as we go to the top of the order for the left fielder Travis Mason, who flew out to right field to start this contest.
Holloway's next pitch.
0-1 pitch comes in.
On the way and makes
That was
That
a
one-
nasty pitch.
That is tough to do anything with. And Mason's now down 0-2.
Looked like the bottom fell out of that, and Mason tried almost like he tried to stop swinging halfway through and just couldn't do it.
Gets a piece of that one and flies it foul.
next pitch.
Second baseman Ryan Beck in the on-deck circle for Mount Vernon.
Ravens dugout.
And an 0-2 pitch coming from Tanner Holloway. And batter reaches for that. Holloway's going to run it down. The play to first is in time for the tag. Granum gets the glove to the man, and there are 2 away here.
And a nice play there by Holloway is had to get to the ball, wait for his first baseman, and kind of lead his first baseman to the bag. So nice job. It's one of those plays where if you wait for the first baseman to get there, he's probably going to be beat to the bag.
So a couple of assists defensively for Holloway, helping his own cause with a couple of ground outs that he's been able to make the tag. And here's Ryan Beck, fouls the first pitch he sees away. Beck singled to right field in the first inning. One of the 2 hits that Mount Vernon put on the board in that frame. And that's where we stand with both teams, 2 hits apiece, no runs. Here's the 1-1, and that one's going to fly out to right field, and backing up and comfortably making the catch is Stull. Called into action twice in that frame, and he does the job for the first and the third outs. A ground out in the middle means we played 2.5 here at Stout Field, with the Mount Vernon Marauders and the Pendleton Heights Arabians still scoreless here on NineStar TV.
So again, another chance or another case of the pitcher getting settled in. As we look at the Hoosier Heritage standings there, New Pal up top with a 5-1 record. Pendleton Heights at 4-2. Mount Vernon 3-2. Greenfield Central, Yorktown both at 500, 3-3 and 4-4 respectively. And then Delta and Newcastle, they're at the bottom of the standings, but certainly they may be out of it in terms of they need a whole lot of things to go right, but they're no pushovers. You're talking about 3-4, 2-4 in conference. So much like we saw through the basketball portion of the schedule, really no easy outs when you get there.
Yeah, and the way the HHC works out with these double headers they play up in Muncie, at Delta, at Yorktown, you'll see those games more often being on a Saturday afternoon. So we won't determine anything tonight. We'll need the whole weekend to see how everything shakes out after this particular round of HHC play. But there are 4 teams that could end up at the top of the standings once this weekend is done. And of course, a lot of baseball still to play, but it's always fun in the HHC as we get ready for Pendleton Heights here at the bottom of the 3rd inning. Eston Stoll, Noah Garr, and Jake Harris due up. They are the 8, 9, and 1 hitters, and this is our first time seeing the right fielder Stoll at the plate. He's had a lot to do with the defensive
He's
joys
been
for Pendleton Heights.
a busy man so far. Stoll comes in. He is 0.62 batting average, but 348 on base percentage. So again, he's somebody who has done well getting on base, finding a way on base, 5 walks on the season.
Fouls the first one back, so 0-1 pitch coming from Kennedy Parker now. And that one comes across, and that's right down the middle. Well placed, strike 2. 3 strikeouts on the day for Kennedy Parker. He's looking for number 4 here, and he's well ahead in the count. As you take a look at Parker's delivery, that one comes across for strike 3 on the outside corner.
That froze him. That was a nice pitch. Really,
Wow.
really fooled Stoll. As we just see him, he gives up on it, and it catches that outside corner. The umpire making it tough on a team that you don't want to say passive. They are patient though, and the Arabians really make you find the strike zone. The strike zone a little easier to find today with this umpire, it looks like.
So 4 strikeouts on the day as we see the left fielder Noah Garr come up in the 9-hole for Pendleton Heights.
And one thing that'll be interesting to see is, how the teams react to that, how the Arabians in particular, if they adjust their approach a little bit, because they're starting out a lot of these at-bats down 0-1, 0-2.
Gar gets a piece of that one. It stays foul. It dies right there on the first base line, but the throw to first is in time to take him out. Just got that to McCarthy, and that was a well-played. I don't know if they meant to do that, but it just stopped right there on that line.
Perfectly placed bunt. I'm not sure. I would have thought that Augustinovic would have let that go, but if he had let that go another beat, it looked like it was dying right on that spot. So a swinging bunt almost works out for Noah Gar.
But it does not, and there are 2 away for Jake Harris, who singled to left field the last time he was up, leading things off in the bottom of the first.
Back when we thought that this might turn out to be an offensive slugfest in the first inning, but when both teams were showing the offensive game.
Things have certainly tightened up a bit since then for the hitters on both sides as Jake Harris calls time. Second baseman Philip Lawson on deck for the Arabians. 4-2 in conference play. Both of these teams could end up first in the standings once this weekend is done, as we talked about earlier. That one comes high. Starting to wonder if Parker had remembered that there were places outside the strike zone to deliver those.
Yeah, a lot of times you can almost get too locked in, and if the batters kind of know where it's coming.
That's popped up. Catcher, all the infield coming in. Who's going to get a shot at it? Nobody does.
And he's going to get to
and
second.
There's going to be a second base picked up. And we've got a runner at second. Jake Harris makes his way to second. The entire infield came in on that, and Fowler was the one who tried to make the play, crossing over the mound, and just couldn't get there in time.
Yeah, really, everybody lost track of it. I think Fowler was the only one that had any idea where it was. But an interesting play because Harris got to second. He kind of gave up on it at that point. There was no infielders that he could have, I assume, beaten the left fielder to third base. Would have been the only player that would have had a chance at getting to him.
I would think so. But now we have a runner at second in Jake Harris with 2 away for the Arabians. And now Philip Lawson takes the 1-0 pitch, and he sends that one straight back to center field. Looking, and settling in to make the catch is Franklin. So a runner gets to second there on a little bit infield play that's going to be ruled a hit, but nothing else comes out of it. We have played 3 innings here at Bill Stout Field. Your score, still Mount Vernon nothing, Pendleton Heights nothing. You're watching high school baseball on NineStar TV. 4th inning here at Pendleton Heights High School. Arabians, Marauders still looking to get on the board here as we've seen a fun pitchers battle alongside Mike Petrie, Chris Lambert with you. And Mike getting another look at Tanner Holloway. Just 2 hits so far on the day, 1 strikeout. And the pitchers have really asserted themselves in the middle stanzas of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And Holloway, one thing that will be interesting as we get a little further into the game. I believe this would be as far as he's gone in an appearance. He's got 4 appearances so far, only 11 2/3 innings. So, as he throws to Noah Powell, the big power hitting shortstop for this Mount Vernon squad.
Powell singled to left in the first inning. But battling here, he's down 0-2 early in the goings. Wyatt Vestal and Tyler Franklin due up for the Marauders as well, as that one comes just a hair outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes now the count. We talked about Powell coming in hitting very well in the season, .394, and that almost got him. Comes in well low, almost got him on the foot there. At left foot, but it bounces away. 2 balls and 2 strikes now the count.
Yeah, and it has shown quite a bit of power as well.
And that one comes inside as well. Now the count run full. So battling back from the early 0-2 start is Noah Powell as Holloway delivers, and that's ball 4. That one was way outside. And that will be the first walk given up.
First walk of the season for Holloway.
Put Powell on first and bring up Wyatt Vestal, the right fielder, who grounded into a double play to win the first.
Powell 3 for 3 on the season, stolen bases, and so we'll see if the Marauders maybe put the running game into action, trying to just get things shaken for their offense. They've got the leadoff runner on board.
Holloway delivers, and Vestal takes that one for a strike in the outside corner. You saw the lead there about 3 steps. You see him taking it again there. Noah Powell on first. Vernon, the first baseman, keeping an eye on him as that one will bounce foul down the left field line.
And he showed to be running there, just kind of faked it after the pitch, but gave up after a few steps, and then the ball was fouled off.
0-2 pitch coming up as Holloway and Putnam take time to settle in on this one. We'll see what the call comes in for. And a pickoff fake will have nothing doing there.
And a good move, and like all good moves, that is almost a balk, as he almost came forward.
And out to left field on the 0-2 pitch, and unable to make the catch is Gar, and runners are going to be out at third. They got Powell at third base on a wonderful throw from Gar. After he was unable to make the catch, he scooped it up and got it to third back in time, and there's one away.
Well, the old adage, you never want to make that first or third out at third base, and that time Powell had everything in front of him, but it's hard to blame him for going for it. Just a great effort by Gar to get up after a diving attempt. He pops right up, gets the ball cleanly, and is able to throw to third. Really just a great play by the left fielder once he was unable to pick the ball up cleanly.
And here's Tyler Franklin turning on the first pitch he sees, flies it out quickly to right field, and good job of the outfielders getting that ball back in quickly. Wyatt Vestal held at second base. There's two away, and it keeps him 180 feet from the plate.
Yeah, that was if anything, it probably, as hard as it was stung hard for Vestal to really make any play going back to the bag, getting any designs on tagging up, but a nice job by the right fielder to collect it quickly and throw it in, get it to the infield.
Designated hitter Brandon Turner at the plate, down 0-1. He struck out in the second inning.
Holloway checks over at second.
As Holloway delivers, and that's a big swing and a miss for strike two.
So Turner to hole at 0-2.
Braden Augustinovich hoping to get a chance to bat if this inning continues, as Turner needs to work out of an 0-2 hole.
And it was 0-2 on Vestal, and he was able to rip a ball into left field. So now Holloway with it, trying to induce.
Did he check? No, he did not. Swing and a miss for strike three, and the Marauders go down, leaving a man on second base. There was one hit from Vestal, but he was in part of that play. Powell taken out at third, and after 3.5 innings of play, we have no runs and 3 hits for both of these teams. Pendleton Heights and Mount Vernon still looking to put a score on the board here on NineStar TV, with the Arabians getting set to come up in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Yeah, we've definitely seen it from a pitching standpoint. We've seen a solid performance. We've seen a solid play from the defenders on both sides, a couple of really nifty defensive plays. Now it's a matter of the offenses for one of these teams is going to have to wake up and reward their pitcher for a really good outing.
The 3, 4, 5 hitters for Pendleton Heights will be the ones that will try to get it done, as we see Kennedy Parker still dealing here, getting set for his 4th inning of work for Mount Vernon. We're going to see Logan Robertson, Casey Branham, and Mitchell Fowler come up for the Arabians momentarily. Glad you joined us for high school baseball on NineStar TV. Always fun to bring this action to you throughout the school year. Football, basketball, and of course baseball here on Channel 9. John Painter, David Spencer, and the entire NineStar crew bringing it to you today. A gorgeous day in Pendleton, Indiana, as if there were any other kinds of days when you're in town here. Getting set for the bottom of the 4th now, and here's Robertson, who struck out in the 1st.
Shortstop number 25, Logan Robertson.
So Parker and Augustinovich working well so far, and they'll see if they can keep it going here as Robertson settles in. Parker with 4 strikeouts, and the first pitch will be sent into right field, and that's going to drop in shallow right for a base hit. Well played there by Logan Robertson. Like the first pitch he saw, sends it into right field, and he's aboard to start things in the 4th.
Seen a couple of balls stung right at the fielders for outs, but that one just place where they ain't. So nice job by Robertson. He gets on board, and now just like the Mount Vernon Marauders did in the top half of the inning, you've got a runner on first with nobody out. Chance for the middle of the order to make hay.
Fourth hit of the day for Pendleton Heights as Casey Branham shows bunt, and he lays it down nicely. The throw over to first is in time, and the throw back to second not in time. They tried to get 2 for 1 there. Robertson able to squeeze back at the last moment.
And Robertson really fortunate there because he got to second and started turning around. That one, I'm curious, and again, it's another one where if I'm an infielder, I would have been tempted to let that go because very difficult play to make that, to barehand it. If it takes maybe one more rotation to the left, it would have gone foul and you could have picked it up. But that's a tough gamble to take. And I think the third baseman actually made the right play there.
Sometimes you got to go with instinct and do what you can to make the play, and this time they get 1 out. As we see the third baseman, Mitchell Fowler, he swings and misses the first pitch he sees, and he'll be in an 0-1 hole. So 1 out on the board for Pendleton Heights here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Matt Veter, the designated hitter, due up as you see the runner, Robertson, leading off the second. Here's the 0-1, and that drops to even the count up at a ball and a strike.
And Fowler comes into this game, he's been a big RBI guy so far, 7 RBIs, despite a lower batting average.
Struck out looking in the second. Takes a look at that one, and that's outside as well. Now 2 balls and a strike.
And I think with a runner on second, the temptation from a pitching standpoint, you almost want to overthrow. You try to work a little bit too hard, but Kennedy Parker just has to trust himself. He's got 4 Ks in this game already for a reason.
And the 2-1 pitch is sent out into right center. Center fielder will park himself underneath, and Franklin is able to haul it in. Meanwhile, the throw to third is in time for the double play. The catch in center and a bullet throw erases Logan Robertson at third base, and just like that, the 4th inning is done and the threat is extinguished. A leadoff single for Logan Robertson, but he's taken out at third. Center fielder
and a great job on both ends of the play here. Franklin to Powell and Powell to the third baseman Smoot. Nice job, and a nice job by Smoot. As you'll see if we get another chance on the camera look, at that play he catches the ball out in front of the bag. If he waits for the throw to get to him, the runner probably beats him into the bag, but that time he catches it, does a nice stretch with his arm, and is able to apply the tag. So a great job by our camera crew catching that, and a nice job by Luke Smoot on the receiving end of that play.
So both teams still looking for that first score. You see it, 5 hits for the Arabians and 3 for the Marauders here at Bill Stout Field as we head to the 5th inning. And of course, the best thing about the 5th inning means it's only 1 more inning until Mike Petrie gets back on your TV for the play-by-play voice. Chris Lambert with you alongside. Glad you've joined us. Always great to be with you here on NineStar TV. As Tanner Holloway gets ready to go back to work. You got a good look at him there. Having a nice day. 3 hits, 2 strikeouts, and he's going to face the bottom third of the order, starting with the catcher, Braden Augustinovich for Mount Vernon, and that first pitch is in the dirt, 4-1. Augustinovich will be followed by Luke Smoot and Mitch McCarthy due up for the Marauders.
Augustinovich got on the hard way in the his first at bat. The second inning, he was hit by a pitch, was the only base runner, and before outside of a walk to Noah Powell, the only base runner so far. So
1-2 now the count as Holloway delivered that last pitch nicely, and a swing and a miss for strike 3. So back-to-back strikeouts when you go back to the end of the 4th inning. Holloway dealing here. He's got 3 strikeouts on the day, and there's 1 down here in the 5th. That'll bring up Luke Smoot.
Now the plate, number 3, Luke Smoot, the third
He flew out to end the 2nd inning.
for Mount Vernon.
And Smoot will settle in. And awaits the first delivery. A swing and a miss on the outside pitch there for strike 1.
On the outside pitch by Holloway. 0-1 the count for Smoot.
Holloway's doing a nice job of delivering here in the 5th.
Smoot
As the 0-1 comes, Smoot offers, and we'll crack that one foul.
And one thing he's really done a nice job of is keeping this Marauders lineup off balance. As you get deeper into the game, a lot of times, maybe you get through the lineup once and everybody's feels like they know what you've got. He's been able to mix up speeds a lot in this second time through the lineup.
Gets that one up the middle, grounds to second. The throw over to first is in time for the second out. That was close, and that was a well-hit ball. Bounced off the left side of the mound, but able to make the play from second base is Lawson with the throw over to Branham.
Yeah, actually, Robertson with the long throw there. That one went to the shortstop. So.
Even harder to do as Robertson does the job. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, because that ball was not hit particularly hard, so he was patient. He waited on it and made a very strong throw across the diamond.
So 2 away, and we'll see Mitch McCarthy flew out to right to start things off in the third. The 1-0 pitch comes inside, and now 2-0 the count. McCarthy ahead early. If he gets on base, we'll see the left fielder Travis Mason come up. That one's delivered for a strike. It's 2-1. Mount Vernon looking to turn the order over here. Nobody aboard with 2 outs. That's the outside corner, 2-2. Well delivered.
Yeah, and again, this is a big strike zone from the umpire. Both teams kind of surprised by that outside strike we've seen on a number of occasions.
And it's been consistent for both of these pitchers. 3-2 now the count. And McCarthy settles in for the payoff pitch. Holloway delivers, and that is checked. He got a piece of it. The throw over to first to make it academic. And then the throw back to the pitcher.
But no, I think he did get a piece of it, so it'll be a.
He didn't get a piece of it.
No.
So the runner makes it board
on first. Okay, well, I thought that throw beat him for sure.
I thought so as well. We'll try to clear up the calls. Mount Vernon does get to the top of the order, and we'll see Travis Mason. First pitch comes across for a strike.
Ball is a little bit outside.
Sometimes from our vantage point, you can't quite get all the intricacies of this game as a throw back to first, trying to erase him there.
What he was trying to do is make up for us, make us feel better.
Here's the 0-1 pitch, and Mason will send that out to left field. It's going to go foul, and it's going to clear the fence over there. Got a group of Arabians' parents enjoying the view from over by the light pole. And they see an 0-2 pitch on the way shortly from Holloway.
Both pitchers have really done a great job all game of just getting ahead of the batters.
Reaching for that one, and a strikeout will bring the threat to an end for Mount Vernon here in the 5th inning. One runner makes it aboard, but 2 strikeouts for Tanner Holloway keeps the pace of this game flying. We are headed to the bottom of the 5th here at Bill Stout Field with Pendleton Heights coming to back, looking to get the first run of the game on the board. They will bring up the 6, 7, and 8 hitters, Veter, Putnam, and Stull. And a reminder, you can keep up with everything we're doing here at NineStar Connect, not just on Channel 9, but all the great things going on in the community by liking NineStar Connect on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter. Surprisingly enough, the handle is at NineStar Connect. Mike Petrie, Chris Lambert with you as Kennedy Parker back on the hill working with Braden Augustinovich. Still looking for the first run for either of these teams. No, fast pace doesn't mean anything. You've got to go into extras.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, we got four guys left on base and a couple of erased on the base pass for the Marauders, and I've got 3 left on base for the Arabians and a couple more left that were erased on the base pass. So, there have been a couple of opportunities, not a lot of them, but there have been a couple of opportunities, and neither team able to cash in so far.
So Veter, the designated hitter, settles in. He'll see his first pitch at the bottom of the 5th. He'll ground that one to short. It's going to be a long throw, and it's in plenty of time, however, as Powell completes the throw to McCarthy. Just like that, one away.
And again, just like his counterpart, Logan Robertson, in the top half of the inning, a nice job waiting on the throw, or waiting on the ground ball to come to him. He didn't rush anything and just trusted his arm to make the strong throw across.
Joey Putnam, second appearance at the plate, and he'll turn on the first pitch he sees, and that's going to drop in shallow left field for a base knock. He was a strikeout victim last time. Turns back quickly and made it a little more dramatic than maybe it needed. You would have liked to have seen it if you're a home fan, but he's safely aboard with single.
Nice play by Noah.
He'll turn on the first pitch he sees, and that's going to drop in shallow left field for a base knock.
As any batter will do, the ball's all the way over in left field. He's not really looking at it. Takes a bit of big turn, and Powell almost caught him sleeping there.
So with one away, there's a runner on first in the guise of Joey Putnam. The batter is Eston Stoll, the right fielder, who's also struck out in this contest.
Brandon Helpling goes in to run for Putnam, so trying to get some speed on the base paths. Rules in high school baseball, of course, a little different than in college or in the pros. Putnam will have Helpling run for him and then come back in at the end of the inning.
0-1 the count on Eston Stoll, and there's a throw back to first. Helpling able to get back safely again.
I really just like the idea of the courtesy runner. It sounds so pleasant.
There's just not enough courtesy in the world, is there, Michael? One pitch coming up, and showing bunt, not quite getting there, was Eston Stoll, and now he's behind 0-2.
One thing we mentioned early on in the broadcast, that as the umpire was calling a lot of strikes early on these Arabian batters, they seem to have adjusted to that because they were letting a lot of pitches go early. This time they've been swinging much earlier in the count.
Grounder to short. The throw to first is in time, so there's one away, but the runner advances as Helpling makes his way to second base with two away as Pendleton Heights turns it over to the top of the order, and center fielder Jake Harris, who is 2 for 2 today, a single and a double.
No,
I got ahead of myself again.
Noah Garce
I have nothing against the number 9 hitter, I swear.
Kidding.
Left fielder Noah Gar coming up. He grounded out. We're a team. We're a team. And the first pitch by Gar, that's going to be an infield fly ball, and that'll be caught easily. And now the side is retired. Well, a single by Putnam is left on the base paths. We have played 5 full innings here at Bill Stout Field. Mount Vernon and Pendleton Heights still scoreless. Mike Petrie coming up with the 6th inning play-by-play. You're watching high school baseball on NineStar TV.
Family Farm, with a family that does more than farm. A community-owned telecom that connected everything and everyone with high bandwidth fiber optic. She can run her business while staying close to the people she loves most. And he can launch a promising new venture without leaving the farm. NineStar Connect. Community-owned, community-strong.
And we are back at Bill Stout Field, Pendleton Heights High School. And a whole lot of zeros in terms of the offense, but we've seen an awful lot of action. Mike Petrie, Chris Lambert with you, and we're going to see 2, 3, and 4 for the Mount Vernon lineup as they come across the pitcher, Tanner Holloway, for the Pendleton Heights Arabians. Been a pitcher's duel on both sides.
Yeah, and when you're a manager at the high school level, you love to see the pitchers go deep in the first game of an HHC doubleheader. So you got a nice full bullpen for the second game.
But as you said, it doesn't really matter if this goes to extra innings. That all goes for naught. That is a little blooper for Beck, as that will be a line drive to left in the scorebook, but that is a blooper, just finds its spot underneath Robertson's glove. So a nice effort by Robertson, all for naught, but now Ryan Beck on base. And again, Mount Vernon gets their leadoff hitter on. They've done that a couple of times so far this game. Now with the chance for the 3, 4, and 5 batters to get their RBIs.
And that was a close throw back to first as Holloway thought he'd caught Beck napping there a couple steps off the bag, but nice quick slide back in, keeps him alive on the base paths.
As we mentioned, Noah Powell coming off against Anderson as that throw gets away, and Beck almost had a chance to get to second, but unable to do so. He is holding his hand looks like, or looks like maybe gonna stretch his legs out. It looked like he was bent over just a little bit. Couldn't tell what he was holding. I think maybe a hamstring or somewhere on his leg. Perhaps that throw hit him as it skipped into the foul territory.
I hate to see that on kind of a non-action like that throw. See one of those injuries, but he looks okay for the moment.
And that pitch is fouled off. So an 0-1 count now on Powell against Anderson. They actually played yesterday. Didn't see the result against Shenandoah, but they beat Anderson 16-5, and Powell had a big game, 2 of 3 with a home run and 4 RBIs, trying to get his offensive game going again. And that pitch is in the dirt. It will skip away from the catcher, and Beck gets to second. He actually had the base stolen probably regardless, but that wild pitch made it all academic. Beck didn't quite pick up on it in time. I don't think he would have chanced third anyway, but Augustinovich able to track it down in any case.
Now, the first time you really feel like a team is in business with no outs and a runner on second.
Yeah, absolutely. And I apologize, Putnam able to track that down. Don't want to misidentify those the catchers.
And once again, the defense helped a little bit by this high grass behind the plate. So that one didn't really have a chance to roll far.
So 1-1 count. And Powell does a nice job of defending the plate there, just able to foul it off. But that puts him behind the plate in the count, 1-2.
Powell still at the plate for Mount Vernon. No score here in the top of the
As much as anything, you know, the goal here, you're playing for 1 run. Even a big power hitter looking to at least just push the ball to the right side of the field. And you can see anything that's on the outside part of the plate, he's going to be just trying to poke that ball to the right side, advance the runner to third if he can. And now he's going to have probably a little bit more of an offensive count as it gets to 3-2.
Yeah, you can see they're being awful cautious with him, and now they start to think with a big hitter like this, maybe he's safer at first with a walk. We'll see how they deliver the payoff.
And that one is well outside. So they challenged him early on in the count, but once it got to 2-2 and then 3-2, they definitely decided they were not going to be messing around with Powell. And we are going to see Travis Kiesling make a quick trip to the mound for a bit of a conference. Perhaps just a fact-finding mission. We'd mentioned this is as far as Holloway's gone in a game, if not further. And just checking in to see how he feels at this point. I don't see, and I was trying to see the bullpen area.
Yeah,
we'll see if anybody gets up and running, because I think you can see down the two just outside the fences there.
I can. The gates opened, but nobody's out there to come in from the gates. That was kind of eerie. But a good day so far for Holloway. 6+ innings now and 4 strikeouts, but got runners on first and second with nobody out there, so kind of time to think things over for Pendleton Heights. Holloway's going to stay and face this batter. First pitch to Wyatt Vestal outside.
And Vestal was involved in the last kind of rally that the Marauders had a base hit to left that Beck ended up getting thrown out at left, or I should say Powell got thrown out at third base trying to advance. Vestal got to second on the play, but and a nice job by Holloway as he is able to get ahead in this count, 1-2.
Yeah, you could see Vestal was really reaching for that one, trying to make something happen with the runners on first and second, but that one well outside.
And that's a strikeout swinging. Nice job by Holloway, taking advantage of Vestal's a little bit over aggressiveness, probably feeling the burden. He's one of the top hitters in the lineup, but this is a game he really just cannot chase, no matter how hard you try to. Tyler Franklin, the senior, will bat now. He's still got runners in first and second, and just 1 out. But now a double play does end the inning for the Arabians. So a big strikeout there by Holloway.
Franklin's 0 for 2 on the day. He grounded out to the pitcher in the second, flew out to right in the fourth. And a big situation here
Now looks like we're going to have a pitcher warming up in the bullpen.
with one away, and as you say, the double play ball very much still in effect.
Getting a few warm-up pitches.
And that's a rip down the right field line. That will be a fair ball. And that will bring home at least one. The right fielder able to get the ball in. Stoll gets it in. That will bring home one run as Beck crosses home plate. Is greeted by his teammates, and a nice bit of hitting there by Tyler Franklin. Able to rip the line drive just down the line and keep it fair.
And nice work for Tyler
And that
Franklin.
will bring
That's going to
home
be his
at
fifth
least
RBI
one.
of the season, his 9th hit in 29 plate appearances. And the tie is broken with the 5th hit of the game for Mount Vernon. The Marauders go up 1-0.
So Beck comes around to score. Powell goes to third, so we're now still looking at first and third. And now the trick for Holloway is he's still got to get out of this inning. A lot of times you feel that everything come down. That'll be a ground ball back to the pitcher. He will throw to first. He looked at second. Probably the wise decision, because even though you've got the force play at second, if you throw back there, Powell breaks for home, and you probably give up a run, because by the time you get all of that processed, you're not getting two. Not with the way Turner was busting down the first baseline. So you get one out. You get the easy out. And so now you are looking at second and third and 2 outs, and trying to strand a couple of runners. Brandon Augustinovich trying to bring them in.
That one comes inside, pretty close to hitting him on the foot again for ball 1. Augustinovich on the day, he was hit by a pitch in the second inning, in fact, struck out in the 5th.
1-1 now the count for Augie.
And now even in the count.
Pitch finds the strikes now. Holloway winds up.
And that's another strike.
Strike number 2, 1-2 for Augie.
Really good job by both pitchers, again, just attacking the strike zone. That one goes way inside, and bit of a wry smile from Augustinovich saying, well, what did I do to deserve all this?
He's got a magnet on his belt, I think, that's drawing that ball towards him.
That or he insulted Holloway, we're not sure. Never can tell what they say.
I don't think the youth of America insult each other.
Oh.
Michael.
Runner still at second and third for Mount Vernon. 2 outs here at the top of the 6th inning.
And that is a strike, and it just gets a piece of it.
Yeah, he barely kept himself alive there, didn't he?
And the umpire walks the ball back out to Holloway.
Here at the top of the 6th inning. 1-0 the score. Mount Vernon scored on
So this is key now. Tyler Franklin has advanced to second base, so a well-hit ball to the outfield. This could be a 3-0 game.
I imagine, yeah, with with runners going on contact, pretty much anything that gets to the outfield will probably bring home Franklin. And Augustinovich looks but does not swing, so it will be a full count. Nice job holding back on that curveball.
Big payoff here.
Now that's a pitch that catches the inside part of the plate, and that will be a strikeout. Nice job by Holloway to get out of that with just the 1 out. And what we were talking about, a lot of times you've got this deadlock game. You give up that 1 run, and you see a lot of times the pitcher's kind of that adrenaline just fades from them. But a nice job by Holloway to bounce back and take care of the rest of the inning. Did not allow another run.
Indeed, Holloway giving up the run, but leaves 2 on base, so kind of settled down, got out of a jam. It's been a story from Mount Vernon throughout this contest, Mike. They've left 7 runners on base. So the fact that this is just a 1-0 lead for them, they've certainly had their opportunities, but Holloway's done a nice job bouncing back every time. The difference, of course, this time the run came home as Ryan Beck came home off the single from Tyler Franklin, who was at his first hit of the game here in the 6th inning, and what a hit it was.
Yeah, a big RBI by Franklin. Jake, it'll be the top of the order trying to get things rolling and see if they can equalize, if not take lead on their own. Jake Harris getting his 3rd at bat. He had a base hit in the first, advanced to second, and then got a gift double in the third inning as he put a pop fly up all the way to the pitcher's mound, but none of the Marauders were able to locate it. So 2 for 2, and probably he's the leadoff hitter for a reason. They like him to stir the pot, so to speak, on this offensive side.
Well, they'll get it going here quickly if they're lucky as Harris steps up 2 for 2 on the day.
And Parker comes down, and that will be a ball 1 count as he just misses on that one. And that will be a strike. So, again, just Parker's done a great job of attacking the edges of the strike zone. Really, outside of the first walk that he had in the first, has really not had a trouble locating the strike zone. That's a ground ball. He fields his position well, and Parker throws over to McCarthy. That'll be 1 out.
And Dusto, really easy put out for him for the first out of the contest. And scoops it right over to the first baseman, McCarthy, to run it down. Parker's only had to face 3 or 4 batters in every inning thus far in this contest. That's how he's been able to use that great control to give himself a 1-0 lead.
And that's a strike on the inside part of the plate. And again, matter of the Arabians, they've done very well. That's been their game plan. They make the pitchers work, but today, if you make the pitcher work, you're working from an 0-2 count. And that's a ground ball. That will go to the second baseman, and second baseman cannot come back with that one. So Lawson able to get on due to the error from Ryan Beck.
Yeah, if he'd been able to haul that one in, that would have been a quick second out. The first error we've seen in this game from either team. You see the legs just got out from under him as he went down to make that catch.
Yeah.
So Lawson aboard for Logan Robertson.
And Robertson, the big RBI man for this team, 13 RBIs coming into the game. He's a big threat with a double and a big power hitter throughout his career. He is a senior, and that's a swing and a miss. Looked like he was trying really hard to get.
He wants another RBI.
If not, yeah, 1 RBI. He wanted 2.
That one just a bit high and a quick 0-2 hole.
Robertson swings and misses. 0-2 now. The count.
So that one is down low. Robertson watches that one. I've got to think that anybody with an 0-2 count, any pitch they let go, no matter how disciplined they are and how much they are thinking, no, that was definitely a ball, is probably a little hesitant looking back at the umpire. And that one is upstairs. So one of the nice things that Parker doing here, especially with an 0-2 count and a couple of pitches to waste, trying to move Robertson's eye level up, down, can't get him settled. And that is a curveball that misses outside. That has been the hammer pitch for Parker, is he's really frozen up a number of the right-handed batters with a curveball there that just catches that outside part of the plate. And that is a pickoff play. Lawson gets back safely.
But to no avail.
Tense moment for the Arabians here on this second payoff pitch.
Yeah, three consecutive balls after getting ahead in the count. And that is fouled well back in off plate, and we'll do it again.
Robertson swung on that one, but it was a foul ball. Lawson was
Robertson trying to be the spoiler here. Casey Branham is in the on-deck circle. If he can keep things going here with 1 out, runner at first, and chance to make a statement here in the waning innings of this first game of the doubleheader with the visitors on the board first.
Now the pitch comes in, and that is fouled off as well. So another, he's now seen pretty much the full repertoire in this at bat. There's a couple of balls come back to the umpire. Lawson running on that one. You don't always see a guy running from first on a 3-2 count, because of course you don't want to get the strike him out, throw him out to end an inning. But in this case, probably not a bad gamble. You know the pitcher is going to be coming with something over the plate, and you know, especially if it's out of the strike zone, you can have first and second free. If not, you've got a guy on second, a chance at a guy on second, and a chance for the cleanup hitter to bring him in.
Now Robertson hits a grounder over to the third baseman, throws it over to second base, tags Lawson out.
The ground out to the third baseman. They're able to get one away there, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. A nice job by Smoot and a good decisive play. It's one of those things where if you hesitate just even for a second, you've got to know where you're going with that ball even before the ball is put into play.
So Robertson on first, the fielder's choice, and now we see Casey Branham come out, 2 away. Still that runner on first. Branham 0 for 2 on the day.
First pitch.
Well,
you might want to term that in the 4th inning a sac fly, as he was able to move the runner.
Yeah.
Sac grounder.
The sacrifice bunt as he gave himself up, but the going to be swinging from the heels here, and that one is put into the air. And Beck is back, and he will grab that one. So an easy enough inning, as there are 3 outs sandwiched around an error, and as Parker is able to get around his defense in that case, and that will retire the Arabians. So we go to the 7th inning. The Marauders lead this one 1-0 on NineStar Sports.
Warm-up pitches.
And that's a rip down the right field line. That will.
How you feeling after that brownie?
Dude, I'm freaking out.
You ate all of it? Good luck with that.
Are you okay?
I gotta get out of here. I'm sorry.
Marijuana use can kill. Some forms have 90% THC, the mind-altering ingredient.
Security alarm scared off an intruder.
Unit 7, residential alarm, Fort County Line Road. Please respond.
The cameras helped authorities arrest him.
Some criminals just target rural homes because of fewer neighbors and less light.
Call me at NineStar Security.
It was the best decision I ever made.
Law enforcement highly recommends a security system.
Call NineStar Security for under $1 a day.
And we are back. Bill Stout Field here at Pendleton Heights High School. The visiting Mount Vernon Marauders on top, 1-0 of a absolute pitcher's duel. Tanner Holloway still in there for the Arabians. He's given up just the 1 run, but so far that has been enough for Mount Vernon.
Yeah, the run was earned in the 6th inning as Ryan Beck led off with a single, and he was brought home by a single from Tyler Franklin later in the stand. And Mount Vernon will look to get an insurance run here from their 8-9-1 hitters, starting with Luke Smoot, who is 0 for 2.
Smoot, the third baseman, made a nice play in the bottom half of the 6th that got one of the outs, and that one is out of the strike zone. One of the things you keep looking for, and you're trying to see again down that left field line. Corbin Cox was warming up for the Arabians and is warming up now. Imagine this will be a pretty short leash for Holloway.
Finally a strike there after 3 outside pitches, well outside I should say.
And that one grounded to the second baseman. That'll throw Lawson, will throw to the first and retire Luke Smoot.
So a good recovery there after a slow start for Tanner Holloway. On the day he's got 5 strikeouts, has hit 1 batter, and of course just giving up that 1 run on the board as we see Mitch McCarthy, who is 1 for 2 with a single.
And he looks at a strike on that outside corner, and again, the pitcher is able to feather in that pitch on that outside of that plate.
Wow.
Again, they get it. One of these times, the batter's going to have to look at it and say, all right, I'm picking my spot down that far line. And that one is outside. So
you're just about to say that you think maybe the pitchers are tiring going the distance here with those going outside the first 3 pitches we saw this inning, but then he comes back and deals those 2 strikes to McCarthy right down the middle.
And that one outside. And yeah, just a little bit more erratic from Holloway as we've gotten deeper into this game. And that one is popped out. And that one's going to drop, though, as Casey Branham, Philip Lawson, unable to communicate. Looked like that was one Branham probably should have given away to Lawson, but just didn't do it quite in time. And Lawson gave up just a second. You see him kind of take one step in, and that was really where it was finished. Probably that's one where the player on the outside has the better vantage point. As we see Coach Kiesling come in, and I imagine this is going to be the end of the road for Tanner Holloway. A really solid outing for this junior pitcher, though.
Yeah, 6 1/3 innings in this game against Mount Vernon today. He came into it with a 3.60 ERA. That's going to drop as he's just given up the 1 earned run. However, responsible for the runner still on first base, and he comes out to a nice hand.
And you know, he's given up. That'll be 6 hits. That we've seen a couple of those pop flies that have counted as hits, which you know will drive the pitchers crazy. But some solid defense behind him at times. That play probably the one time the defense let him down today. And as we get a look at Corbin Cox, tell me a little bit about his statistics on this season.
Well, 3.96 ERA, as you see. Picked up a decision here recently against Yorktown, or he suffered the loss in that one, but came back with a nice win against Shelbyville in the second half of a doubleheader last weekend. He is working on a season where he's given up 10 earned runs, but has struck out 27 and just walked 11. So coming in with 1 away and a runner on first, trying to close things down on this Mount Vernon threat to add to their 1-0 lead.
Yeah, you get the feeling that he's the ace of the staff. We mentioned 3 juniors really at the top of that rotation for the Arabians. Corbin Cox, Tanner Holloway, Chase McDermott, the other one in that group. Really outside of Casey Branham and Mitch Fowler, who have pitched fairly limited innings, although 4 or 5 appearances each, but coming in relief. It's been a very much a junior show for this Arabian pitching rotation.
And weather permitting, next weekend you'll see Pendleton Heights again here on NineStar TV, as they'll be making a trip down south to take on the Greenfield Central Cougars. Once again, bringing you Hoosier Heritage Conference baseball on NineStar TV.
And once again, weather pending.
Weather is always pending on this fun time of year. But now Mount Vernon to the plate. Here comes Travis Mason. He is 0 for 3 with a strikeout.
And with a runner on first, so just 1 out.
Cox delivers outside. The first pitch he's delivered.
First pitch outside, ball number 1.
Travis Mason
and Mason, a good leadoff hitter, letting the new pitcher come in and perhaps throw a couple, let his teammates get a good look at what Cox has to offer. It'll also be interesting to see. A lot of times you see a guy come in for just the 1 inning here in the first half of a doubleheader. If Cox comes in and pitches leads off the bottom end of the doubleheader and just kind of gets his innings in that way. So in high school baseball, pitchers able to come in from the bullpen and start. Really no distinction between the two. So a 3-0 count, and that one is a strike.
Yeah, it doesn't matter when you come through that gate, just to be ready to get out there and throw some strikes. But behind in the counts here, 3-1 to Mason.
So Mason lets that one go. That is a strike, and that is going to be a throw at second base where he is thrown out. So instead of it being a first and second and nobody out, now we're looking at a 3-2 count. Mason thought he had ball 4, and again, that's that outside corner. The umpire has been giving it to both pitchers consistently, both teams' pitchers consistently tonight, and that was a great throw by Augustinovich. Now that's a ground ball to second. Lawson will throw to first, and a nice play. That will end the inning, so a nice job by the Arabians to end any threat by the Marauders. And so no runs on one hit for the Marauders. They lead 1-0 coming into the bottom of the 7th for this Pendleton Heights squad.
And another runner left on base for Mount Vernon. That's 8 for the game. That's about the only bummer stats so far because they do hold that 1-0 lead. 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error versus no run, 6 hits and 1 error for the homestanding Pendleton Heights Arabians. So we come to the bottom of the 7th, Mike, and the 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up. That's been Mitchell Fowler, Matt Veeder, and Joey Putnam so far. But of course, who knows what we'll see in the bottom of the 7th, although Fowler has taken his warm-up swings. And it's going to be a big setup for the Marauders as Kennedy Parker looks for the complete game shutout.
Yeah, and being interesting, we talked about Holloway having a short leash in the top half of the inning. It'll be interesting to see how long of a leash that Kennedy Parker has. Now, he's looked very solid, and as you mentioned, really hasn't faced a ton of batters in any inning. So he's working on a much shorter number of pitchers anyway. But, we haven't seen him go the distance yet this season. So it'd be interesting to see. Also, a lot of the Mount Vernon relief pitchers are already out in the field, so not really a chance to warm themselves up. That is a ground ball in the first pitch, and Mitch McCarthy throws to Parker, so 1 pitch, 1 out, and that is the bottom of the 7th inning. Starts for this Arabian squad.
Yeah, quickly 1 done for Parker, and we look out, there's nobody warming up for Mount Vernon. As you said, they're all out in the field, maybe, so nobody can really get out there. So it's going to stay with Kennedy Parker as Veeder, the designated hitter, steps up. He's 0 for 2.
Only 1 save so far on the season for this Marauder squad. That's 1 pitch. That is a grounder over to second. And Beck will retire the designated hitter, Matt Veeder. So 2 pitches, 2 outs. No worries about a short leash for Kennedy Parker so far, as he is 2/3 of the way home.
He's tightening the slack on that leash himself, making it very easy for himself. A grounder to McCarthy and a grounder to Beck. His defense doing work behind him, and now it's in the hands of Joey Putnam with 2 away.
And Putnam, if I am reading correctly, or looking correctly, the last man to get a hit against Parker, he did that in the 5th inning.
You are correct, sir.
And I knew I'd be right about that, about something at some point. Just had to wait my time. As he is behind in the count, 0-1.
Takes a moment. Now we're going to step back in. Waits Parker pitch.
And that pitch is up and in, and that'll be a ball inside. Putnam hung in there until the very last second, and able to gets a ball for the effort. And that's a slow dribbler, but that will be foul.
Be a foul ball. Put the count for Putnam at 1-2.
The last strike now, unless Putnam can get things going and extend this inning for Eston Stoll, who is on deck.
Off a Tyler Franklin hit down the first baseline to bring Ryan Beck home.
And Parker has the count that he likes. And he looks, he throws. That is just over a leaping Ryan Beck and into right field. And this inning will continue for Eston Stoll.
As you mentioned, Putnam now with 2 consecutive hits off Kennedy Parker, and a big one that is in the 7th inning. He's aboard representing the tying run as we see Stoll substituted out. Oh, no, Stoll. Pinch runner coming in.
Yeah.
But it is Stoll running.
Brandon Helpling in again as a courtesy runner, and Putnam will get some congratulations from his teammates. So Stoll still the batter. He grounded into a fielder's choice the last time up to bat after Putnam had gotten on base.
Pendleton Heights fans hoping that's the rally train going by.
And Parker checks the sign. He likes it. He throws. And that'll be another ball. So 2-0 count. We haven't seen him fall behind very often.
No, and Augustinovich realizes that it's a unique situation and comes out to the mound to have a discussion with his hurler, as does manager Ryan Carr.
And Carr just, I imagine at as much as anything, just trying to find out how Parker feels And of course, any pitcher in this situation says that he feels fine and that there is no problem. He will get this batter. But if nothing else, just get his pitcher settled down. Very, very rare for Parker to fall behind on a batter today.
7 hits on the day for Pendleton Heights, but it won't mean much. They can't get a run across here before the next out.
And Helpling bouncing off of first base as Parker wins the stall game as Stoll will back out. And he comes to the plate, and that's a swing and a miss. A nice bit of pitching there. And that pitch straight over the, right over the middle of the plate, but I've got a feeling as much as the Arabians have had to turn themselves around from letting too many pitches go, after the pitcher falls behind 2-0, kind of surprised that he was swinging there. Now a 2-2 count as he gets himself back even very quickly. And that's a pitch, and that one is down, so that'll be 3-2, so another full count.
Yeah, I had to wonder how that was going to be called, the way the pitches have gone, but now we've got a payoff pitch here at the bottom of the 7th.
So imagine Helpling will be running at first, and that pitch is outside, and that'll be a ball for. So now Parker battling the Noah Gar. Gar 0 for 2 on the game, but we'll see if maybe if Carr, coach or manager Ryan Carr goes and has another chat, but he does not. Of course, one more trip and he has to take out his pitcher.
9 RBI on the season for Noah Gar.
And that's a pitch across the middle. That's a nice get-ahead pitch by Kennedy Parker, and it's an 0-1 count.
Helpling leading off at second. Stoll at first. And the home fans sensing something good is on the table for them. Nice 2-out rally.
Trying to get something going at the very least, and that one is fouled off. So if anything good is happening, it'll have to happen with an 0-2 count. Gar does come into the game. He's got 9 RBIs on the season. Not a bad total for a number 9 hitter in your lineup. So 0-2, and now Parker with a chance to maybe toy with the batter a little bit. He throws. That is grounded to the first baseman. McCarthy throws to Parker, and that is an out. And that is the end of the game. Nice job by Kennedy Parker as he makes the last out at first base. And the Mount Vernon Marauders win a pitcher's duel in the first half of this doubleheader.
Very entertaining pitcher's duel, a quick moving game as it turns out, less than 90 minutes to get it all decided. But Mount Vernon pushing across that run in the 6th inning. 1 run, 5 hits, and 1 error for the visiting Marauders, who moved to 8-3 overall and 4-2 in the HHC. Pendleton Heights, no runs, 7 hits and 1 error. They fall to 7-5. They are 4-3 in conference play. Winning pitcher, Kennedy Parker, going the distance on this one. Had some tense moments there at the end as he gave up 2 hits to Jake Harris and 2 hits to Joey Putnam on the day, and 2 runners at first and second when that 3rd out was recorded to save the game. Tanner Holloway, the losing pitcher, goes 6 1/3 for Pendleton Heights, strikes out 5, but gives up 1 run. The RBI single from Tyler Franklin in the 6th inning that plated Ryan Beck and made this one the 1-0 score. It was 2 hits for Ryan Beck on the day, and a good day for the visiting Marauders, Mike.
Great day for them starting off, and the start of the game though, really Kennedy Parker just a fantastic outing. Came into the game 2-1, had kind of second on the team in terms of innings pitched, but had given up 8 runs, so kind of one bad start. I think bumped up that ERA a little bit, but it came back down after today. So 7 innings and 0 runs. Just a fantastic outing for Mr. Parker.
Absolutely, and you really saw 2 great pitching performances here. Holloway taking the loss, but he did remarkably well in this one with 5 strikeouts and just scattered a few hits, 2 of those coming in the 1st inning with a double play released the pressure there. But as we said, in the 6th inning, Mount Vernon finally found the way to him, and they take the first meeting of the two teams of this season.
And that'll do it for us here on NineStar 9. Again, thanks to our whole crew. Fantastic job, John Painter, and just a great job by Chris Lambert.
Oh, you're too kind, Michael Petrie. That's more of that courtesy we've been talking
right,
about.
Exactly.
It's been rubbing off
That's right.
on us from the runners.
And we appreciate you all watching here on NineStar 9. We will be back with you next week with more high school baseball on NineStar 9. For Chris Lambert, I am Mike Petrie. The final from Pendleton Heights, Mount Vernon 1, Pendleton Heights 0.